This is a CBS News Special Report. I'm Norah O'Donnell in Washington. The day after President Trump was acquitted at his Senate impeachment trial, he is expected to claim victory at the White House today and lash out at his political opponents. We've already seen the president this morning. He spoke at the National Prayer Breakfast, holding up copies of newspapers which read acquitted. And without mentioning names, he attacked Republican Mitt Romney for voting to convict, saying, "I don't like people who use their faith as justification for doing what they know is wrong." Also, we've House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. He attacked her with this quote, saying, "Nor do I like people who say I pray for you when they know that's not so." Pelosi responded just a short time ago at her weekly news conference saying, he can say whatever he wants, but I do pray for him. And she said, quote, "He really needs our prayers." Let's bring in Major Garrett, CBS News chief Washington correspondent. And at that prayer breakfast, the president was preceded by Arthur Brooks, who said, "Please ask God to take political contempt from your heart. And sometimes when it's too hard, ask God to help you fake it."
Right. Not only was the president non-committal in his facial expressions, as soon as he got to the podium, he said, "Arthur, I don't think you're going to like what I'm going to say." Also, we should point out in this room, the East Room, I don't want to get into all the choreography of the White House, but the president is not only the president of the United States, he's often described as his own best executive producer, a sharp eye for television presentation. This morning, the White House turned that room around so the president would be able to, once those doors swing open, come toward the podium the most dramatic way a president can, walking through the cross hall, conveying a sense of strength and perhaps an untouchableness in the aftermath of his acquittal in the Senate yesterday. But that whole choreography reflects the president's sharp eye for not only how he presents, but how he looks as he prepares
when
to
those
present.
Doors swing open, you will see the beautiful red carpet of the Cross Hall, which connects the state dining room and the East Room. And of course, that hall contains many portraits of past presidents of the United States. Want to go inside the room now because Ben Tracy is there. And Ben, who else is there to see the president?
Well, Nora, this is standing room only in here, a packed room, and obviously you hear the applause now. Those are members of the president's legal team entering the room here, who obviously were a big part of his acquittal in the Senate. This room is full of the president's staunchest supporters. We've seen many of the very senators who just acquitted the president yesterday. Senator Mitch McConnell has a seat of honor right in the front. He is credited by the White House of really taking care of this impeachment and getting it done in the Senate very quickly. Members of the president's cabinet are also here, and there also are some of the president's media allies. We've seen a Fox News host, Laura Ingraham, is here as well. So now we're just waiting for those doors to open and for the president to come talk. We're assuming his family is here as well because there are some empty chairs left in the front.
All right, Ben, thank you. We should note, of course, that in the front row as well are members of the president's cabinet, including his Secretary of Defense, as well as his Attorney General, Bill Barr, who just this morning put out an interesting advisory about future investigations in the 2020 campaign. Major?
Yes, indeed. The Attorney General instructed the Justice Department to conduct and start no new investigations of a political candidate without his express written permission.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Wow. We've all been through a lot together, and we probably deserve that hand for all of us because it's been a very unfair situation. I invited some of our very good friends, and we have limited room, but everybody wanted to come. We kept it down to a minimum, and believe it or not, this is a minimum. But a tremendous thing was done over the last number of months. But really, if you go back to it over the last number of years, we had the witch hunt. It started from the day we came down the elevator, myself and our future First Lady, who's with us right now. Thank you, Melania. And it never really stopped. We've been going through this now for over 3 years. It was evil, it was corrupt, it was dirty cops, it was leakers and liars. And this should never, ever happen to another president, ever. I don't know that other presidents would have been able to take it. Some people said no, they wouldn't have. But I can tell you, at a minimum, you have to focus on this because it can get away very quickly. No matter who you have with you, it can get away very quickly. It was a disgrace. Had I not fired James Comey, who was a disaster, by the way, it's possible I wouldn't even be standing here right now. We caught him in the act. Dirty cops, bad people. If this happened to President Obama, a lot of people would have been in jail for a long time already, many, many years. I want to start by thanking some of, and I call them friends, because, you know, you develop friendships and relationships when you're in battle and war, much more so than, gee, let's have a normal situation. With all that we've gone through, we've done, I think, more than any president and administration. And really, I say, for the most part, Republican congressmen, congresswomen, and Republican senators. We've done more than any administration in the first few years. You look at all of the things we've done. I watched this morning as they tried to take credit for the stock market from think of that. Let me tell you, if we didn't win, the stock market would have crashed. And the market was going up a lot before the election because it was looking like we had a good chance to win. And then it went up tremendously from the time we won the election till the time we took office, which was November 8th to January 20th. And that's our credit. That's all our credit. And leading up to that point was our credit because there was hope. And one of the reasons the stock market's gone up so much in the last few days is people think we're doing so well. They liked the State of the Union speech. It really is. It's a true honor to give it. Making the State of the Union speech, I was with some people that have been around. They've been all over the world. And one of them said, highly sophisticated person said, you know, no matter where you go in the world, it doesn't make any difference. There is nothing like what I witnessed tonight. The beauty, the majesty of the chamber, the power of the United States, the power of the people in this room. Really an amazing, even I don't think there is anything like that anywhere in the world. You can go to any other country, you can go to any other location, any other place. It's the beauty of everything. It's what it represents and how it represents our country. I want to start by introducing some of the people that are here. I know some are going to be left out, but they work so hard. And this is really not a news conference. It's not a speech. It's not anything. It's just we're sort of, it's a celebration because we have something that just worked out. I mean, it worked out. We went through hell unfairly, did nothing wrong, did nothing wrong. I've done things wrong in my life, I will admit. Not purposely, but I've done things wrong. But this is what the end result is. So you could take that home, honey. Maybe we'll frame it.